Hi, beautiful people. Welcome back. If you're new, my name is Georgia. Welcome, welcome. So, today we are going to do a recap and a review of Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 8, Episode 6, titled No More Nice Tish. Is it Tish or Trish? Because in watching the episode, I hear some people calling her Tish, I hear some people calling her Trish, and I know her full name is Latricia. So you know what? We're going to do Trish because I don't think the producers got it right. So we're going to say No More Nice Trish. So if you remember where it ended last episode, we have Trish and Kenneth. You know, they're having dinner. They're having a birthday dinner for her. And he's talking to her that, you know, he's ready and willing to buy her an engagement ring. However, he can't do that because she's still married. He said he already knows that that's who he wants to spend the rest of his life with. And she needs to actually step on it and get this divorce from her husband. And she confided in him and told him that, you know, she's really very afraid of getting married again because her husband, or you know, that she's separated from right now, he was very nice in the beginning, and then gradually over time he turned into a monster. And she does not want that to happen to them as a couple because he's been so great to her. And she wants things to, you know, she wants to stay with him for a long time, but she is still really very scared. So he, in a roundabout way, he told her, like, you know, girl, babes, I'm not going to wait forever for you to make up your mind. I need you to go and have that conversation with this man. And I need you to present the papers to him. She says she's done it before and he refused to sign. So I guess she just gave up. And they've been separated for about 4 to 5 years. No, I think it's about 7 years, because he said that she's been separated from her husband for 4 to 5 years and he's been with her for 2 years. So I'm not quite sure, you know, how long she's been separated from him, but she really needs to get that man to sign the paper. And if he even if he doesn't want to sign, they have what's called an uncontested divorce, and she could go ahead and get it signed. I guess she just didn't bother, you know, following through with it because it was too much of a hassle. But he told her in a nicest way as he could, babe, get them papers signed because I'm not gonna be here waiting forever, and I want to be in your life and your kids' lives. So hopefully, you know, she'll move forward with it as she needs to, because it's obvious that Kenneth wants her to be his wife and she needs to get on it, you know, step on it, girl. Trish, get it done. So now the next scene, we at Nell and Chris's house. We see Miss Nell going through some of her shoe stuff. She's saying that she needs a closet because all her stuff is still in boxes, like her shoes. She doesn't have the space to, you know, unpack her shoes and put them on the shelves and see what she has and stuff like that. So Chris assured her that he was going to turn one of the bedrooms into a closet for her. Now they're talking about her birthday party that's coming up. And she asked him, like, who did you invite? He said he invited everybody that he could think of. She was quite concerned about inviting Stormy and Tisha together because at the reunion, we know they were clashing and we know that they're still not talking. So she was wondering, you know, if there might be a clash at the party. And her husband's like, whatever, you know, bring them both in to the room. Let's see what happened. Eventually, they need to talk. So if it happens at your party, it happens. They also talk about Lexi not speaking to the family. Chris said he reached out to Lexi and she has not responded. And he doesn't know what else to do at this point. And Miss Nell said, you know, we're worrying about Stormy and Tisha. We need to worry about all the other kids because I believe there's 2 more of them that was acting up and somebody not talking to somebody at this point. Listen, that's what happened in families. Everybody in a family have that going on. There's always some sort of tension in the family. I think I've spoke about this before, but let anybody from the outside come at the family. You'll see how everybody come together to make sure that they defend that person. So they could be fighting, but eventually they'll make up. That's how families are. So she's looking forward to her birthday party, and I believe it's the kids who came together and threw her birthday party. She said this is her 2nd birthday party that she's ever had, and she's really looking forward to it. So that was that with Miss Nell and Chris. Marceau, Tisha, Maurice, and Kimmy went to dinner. And this is one of the most honest conversations that I've witnessed on this show so far. I like the way Kimmy operates. When it comes to Kimmy, like they said, there is no gray area, which is what Melody's trying to do. Let it be known that it needs to be black and white, no gray area. So the situation is that Maurice and Kimmy purchased a property. I believe it's a storefront. And we talked about it in one of the earlier episodes. And they had to have it gutted out and rebuilt and stuff like that. And she wants to keep the money in the family, like she said. But based on Marceau's history, he takes forever to get things done. And she needs it to happen like now. So she's planning on making them do it really professional, where she puts it out there and let different companies bid on the contract. And Marceau was saying, it's fine. I would rather you do it that way, that to make sure that everything is done correctly. To Marceau's point, he said his focus is on projects that are paying him, not projects that he's paying into. Because Kimmy mentioned quite a couple of projects that still is not done. For instance, she said Tisha's still not in her office. The strip mall that they own still not done, and Scott Manor is still going. So those are all projects that they're paying into. He's saying that the hotels and the other residential properties that he's getting into right now, that he's building, those are what's paying him. So that's where his focus is going to be. So if Kenny is going to pay to get the project done, then he's going to make sure that he's there on time. If his workers don't show up, then he needs to show up and stuff like that. So I think it's going to be okay between the both of them. Because Kimmy said, I could not be very nice when it comes to things. Because if they put money into this building, yes, they have a mortgage to pay. Yes, they have insurance to pay. And if you don't have it turning over and bringing in some sort of income, like, now they're dipping into their savings, and where's the money coming from to make sure that the mortgage is paid every month and stuff like that. So she wants everything to turn over quickly. She wants to keep the money in the family, but if she feels that Marceau is not going to, deliver as he should, then she's going to give the contract to somebody else. And she wanted to come in at a fair bid. So they had dinner and they talked about that. So that was a refreshing conversation to see between them. And now we're really talking about, what the show was originally supposed to be about. Revitalizing real estate projects and stuff like that, building. So hopefully we'll go in that direction and we'll come off the stupid drama, or not that much stupid drama, for a while. Now, like I said, she mentioned 3 projects not done. Tisha is not in her office. I think Tisha's renting elsewhere, or she's working out of their Airbnb. And we have the strip mall not done, and Scott Manor not even close to being done. Because Marshall shows us on Instagram what they're doing with it, and he haven't really spin the camera around and show us how the building is going, but we see the views from the location, and I'm not telling you that the views are beautiful. The views of the mountains are beautiful. So when that's done, that's gonna be a gorgeous house, I'm sure. So now we have Tisha asking Maurice if she could talk to her brother, her brother, if he could talk to his brother and ask him to wear his ring, because it needs to be known that he's married and he apparently is not wearing his ring. So apparently the ring is not comfortable, Tisha. So you need to do what I see most couples doing, is buy him that rubber ring. So, you have that little stretch so that, the ladies will know that, hey, I'm a married man. Don't come at me. I belong to Tisha. So make sure you get him that rubber ring, girl, so that he could wear it. But apparently the ring that he's wearing is not comfortable. Either get it resized or get him a different ring to make sure that he keeps it on. So that was the dinner with the couples. Now we have Kenneth and Courtney meeting up at the basketball court, the indoor basketball court. We get to find out a little bit more about Kenneth. We know that he and Courtney have known each other since they were 10 years old. So apparently they grew up in Huntsville together, and they did Little League together and stuff like that. So they've known each other for a long time. Now we have Kenneth telling Courtney that he had a cute little birthday dinner for Trisha for her birthday, or Trish for her birthday, and that Martell, and then Trish was telling him the story about how Martell came into the room and act like he didn't know her. And he was like, that's out of pocket, because Martell knows that Trish knows his brother Montel. So how is he acting like he's have never met her before? So he said he told Trish to make sure she addressed that, because that's kind of strange. So we need to address that. He also told Courtney that he's looking to get engaged to Trish, but he can't do that because Trish is still married. And Courtney asked him, are you willing to wait? What if it doesn't happen within the next 4 or 5 years? Are you willing to wait that long? And he told him, no, I'm not about to wait 5 years for her to get through this, because it really doesn't take that long. So they talked about that for a while. I think they talked about, what else they talked about there? Yeah, no engagement until the divorce. So Kenneth was telling Courtney that it feels kind of strange, because people still think that Trish is married, and whenever he shows up with her in public, they're thinking that he's the side dude, because apparently she's married, and he don't like that feeling. That it needs to be known that that she's not with, what Stormy called him from The Color Purple. I forgot the name that Stormy gave him, but people needs to know that Trish is not with that man anymore, and that Kenneth is her soon-to-be husband. He wants to be known as fiance, soon-to-be husband, and needs to happen soon. Girl, you need to get it done, because I'm telling you, men do not wait around. Once they tell it to you once, if you don't hear it, they're gone. So Trish, if you want this man in your life and you say you do, you got to step on it, girl, to get it done. All right, so that was the meetup between Kenneth and Courtney. Now we have the evening of the party. It's Nell's Christmas party. We see the two couples. There's in one Sprinter van, and they say it all goes down in the Sprinter van on these reality TV shows. We have in one Sprinter van, we have Stormy, Courtney, Trish, and Kenneth, and then in the other Sprinter van, we have Marceau, Tisha, Maurice, and Kimmy. So they're on their way to the party, and I believe it was in the Sprinter van with Stormy. I forgot what question was asked, and Trish said, well, I hope Miss Nell isn't feisty. And Stormy was saying, who said that? I'm like, okay, oh, here we go. Like, Portia, who said that? So, Trish was like, Tisha said that. She said that Miss Nell can be feisty. And Stormy was like, I've never seen that part of Miss Nell. She is the sweetest person I know. So for her to come out of her pocket and say that, I don't know. And then Stormy was like, so is she going to say that about Miss Nell? What she said about me? I'm like, here we go. So, Trish was like, she said you could be one way one day and another way the next day. So I guess that's a vague way of answering the question. And, they talk about, she said, what happened, at the reunion, we had that little blow up at the reunion, and we've never really talked much since then. So, of course, we're switching between Sprinter van to Sprinter van. At that time, I don't know if she got that text at that moment, but that's when Tisha decided to bring it up. She brought it up to the group that Stormy invited her and everybody, her and Marceau, to the Galentine's event that she's having, and she's like, that's strange for her to say she would love to have us at the Galentine's event when we really are not on speaking terms. So I don't know where she's coming from with that. And Marceau, of course, had to say his two piece in there. He put he has an opinion, just like everybody else, just like I do right now, that, the way Stormy was acting, he's not used to people behaving that way. Maybe that's how she act between her group of friends and her family, but that's not how we roll. And yeah, I don't know about that. So I'm guessing he's saying maybe he don't want Tisha to go. And I believe Kimmy and Maurice had, an opinion, but they weren't getting in that deep about it. And just a little conversation going back and forth on the Sprinter van. So now we get to the venue. We see that it's an event space, like a lounge and stuff like that. We have Miss Nell kids and some of her family and friends in there already. And then we have the couples arrive. We have Maurice and Kimmy and them arrive first. And then we had Courtney and Stormy, Tish, and Kenneth arrive. Everybody was introduced to everybody and stuff like that. They asked if Lexi was coming. They said they don't think so because an invite was sent out and she did not respond. Then Marceau said to some of the kids, welcome. They heard about the drama on social media where Lexi gave an interview to a blog and on YouTube and stuff. And then Marceau was like, well, welcome to the bullshit, basically. He was like, welcome to what we go through. This is what reality TV is all about. No, you're going to have to deflect and stuff like that. And Marceau or Maurice asked in general, you know, like, do you guys think you could find a way back together? And they was like, you know, it's going to take a lot. We can't find our way back, but it's going to take a lot and a lot of effort from everybody for it to happen. Then we see Melody arrive. And with that, we see Tisha go from 0 to 100 real quick. I'm like, what is Tisha doing? So as Melody comes in, or maybe it was edited that way, we see Tisha is like, take off them glasses. I'm like, this girl is drunk. She has had too much to drink. And she proceeds to go and take Mel's sunglasses off her face. And Mel was like, don't do that. No, girl, you don't do that. She's like, I don't know where y'all at, but I'm in the club. And this is how we roll in the club. Ain't that how we roll in the club? You come in with your shades. You're looking like a celebrity. And you're enjoying yourself. So, yeah, Mel came in, greeted everybody. And on top of that, Tisha goes to Mel. Well, you said you had a problem with Marceau, so why don't you address it? Mel was like, I will do that in my own time, girl. Then Mel gets to the conversation in the confessional, like, wow, this girl is a lot tonight. Oh my God. And then, of course, we have the producers again being shady. We see Tisha throwing back vodka. It's obviously straight vodka because they ain't see no mix. It looked like water. So I'm sure that's what vodka looks like if I'm not mistaken. So, okay, Mel was like, so what section we at? This our section. So she goes and she sits down. They sit down in a group. They're chit-chatting. They're getting to know Trish a little bit more. So I believe it was Mel who asked her, you know, when did you get into training, you know, for working out so much? She said it happened when both of her parents died within a matter of months. Within 7 months, both of her parents died. She didn't say what from, but she said at that point, and they were at the age of 55 when they passed away. And she was like, at that point, she decided that that she wanted to live past the age of 55. So along with that, maybe that's why her husband was being so mean and nasty to her, because he knew that she didn't really have, you know, many people there to take up for her. People do that. When they know you don't have what they call no backup, that's when they try to go in for you. So, and that's why she said she started working out to get rid of some of the anger. So it could have been the anger from what was going on in her marriage. It could have been the anger from her losing her parents at such a young age, because 55 is young. And it could have been the anger from her not having, you know, anybody in her corner. But I must say, with her working out, it looks good on you, girl. Trish, keep it up. You and Kenneth, as Marceau call you, the Mr. and Mrs. Bodybuilders of Huntsville. Mr. and Mr. Body of Huntsville. Keep it up. So then, like I was saying, Mel was asking, you know, when did you do it? And she explained to them why, you know, how it happened and where she is and how it's going on. And then I believe it was Kimmy who asked her, so are you married? And then she said no. And then she says yes. So everybody's like, girl, what is it? All she had to say was, I'm separated from my husband pending a divorce. And that would have been it. But she goes in to explain that, you know, like I was just talking about her husband, whatever. And then Kimmy asked her, so the guy you walked in with, so is he the new guy? And she said yes. And Kimmy was like, oh, you know how Kimmy does that? Oh, okay. So then Mel, so when did y'all start the paperwork? And she was like, girl, we didn't start the paperwork yet. And Miss Nell was like, girl, send him on her way. You know what, Trish? If you need to get a divorce from this guy and you need to have him sign the paperwork, take Melody with you. And then she could slap the papers down in front of him and say, sign the papers! Like she did to Martell. Sign the papers! And I bet you'll sign it and let you go on your way. But yeah, that was the conversation between the ladies. And then, of course, we're going back between the ladies and the men. And we have, I believe it was Maurice who asked Kenneth, so you married? And Kenneth was like, no. And he's like, well, she's technically still married. And then he goes in and he talks about it. And then Marceau asks, so when did you find out she was married? And he was like, of course, Courtney by this point has dipped and gone over to snack table because he don't want no parts of this conversation. So he was like, she told me right out the gate. Because I'm guessing, you know, they said that the rumor is going around Huntsville that he's the side dude. So he wanted to make it clear. He's like, I didn't start dating her until 5 years after she was separated from the man. And we've been together for 2. Then Maurice, he's put on his lawyer hat now. He comes, he's like, there is a way to get free from all of that. He's like, you can get free. So you need to give her all the information that I'm giving you to get you guys going on your journey so y'all could be together. So of course now, we leave them, the men, chit-chat, and we head back on over to the ladies. And this is where the bullshit started. We have Tisha, like I said, drinking way too much. So Tisha goes in and she makes a statement like, okay, well, we're still glad you're hanging out with us, Trish, or something to that effect. Because these ladies could be feisty, especially Miss Nell. So here we are, we starting the mess. At this point, Melody sees it coming and she put on her blockers. She put back on her sunglasses because she has taken them off when she sat down. She put on her glasses and she started dancing to the music. And she's like, positive vibes. Let's get positive vibes. She tried, but it wasn't happening. Because Tisha insisted in taking this whole conversation left. So Miss Dale was like, why would you say such a thing about me? She's like, we all could be feisty. But why are you picking on me? And Tisha was like, because you can be. And she said, well, you can't be feisty too. I don't understand what's going on with you tonight. You doing too much. Tisha was like, well, you doing too much. And at this point, this is where Stormy saw her opening to come in. And Stormy was like, Miss Nell, what's happening? I thought you guys used to get along. I didn't know all of this was going on. Why is she being shady? So Tisha was like, you know what's shady? It's when you're going to send an invite to somebody to come to an event, somebody you haven't talked to in months. See, I haven't talked to you since the reunion, so it was strange to get an invite from you. Stormy was like, well, I'm here on some positive Zen energy. I don't know where you coming from with this. And they started getting to it, girl. And that is where the episode ended. It got to the point where Stormy was like, at the reunion, you saying I was popping pills. I want to know where you get that from and why you came out with that statement. Explain to me why you talking about I'm popping pills. So yeah, that's where the episode ended. I guess we're going to see more of it and wrap it up next week. But the ladies are getting into it. And that's why I believe when Stormy's history-making moment happened this past week on TikTok Live, the only person that I saw in the comment that congratulated her or 2 people I should say that congratulated her were Destiny and Carlos. And where was Destiny for the party? She don't know Miss Nell, because she said that Tisha was coming at her with some big D energy, and that is Destiny's tagline. So where was Destiny in the party? She don't get along with the girls, or she just didn't want to film with them. But like I said, nobody besides Carlos and Destiny, from what I saw in the comments on Stormy's post on Instagram, those were the only 2 people who congratulated her on her moment. If you did not know, Stormy's company, Canvas Beauty, hit $1 million in sales on TikTok in one TikTok live session. So that is something to celebrate. You got to give her flowers despite how you feel about her, despite you don't get along with her. That is a history-making moment. She is the first person, not the first woman, not the first black woman, but the first person in TikTok Live to hit $1 million in sales in one TikTok Live session. And that was her selling her body glaze on TikTok Live. So congratulations to her. I know it happened outside of the show, but it was really good to see. And you got to give her flowers. As far as the show is concerned, I am looking forward. I saw some clips from the next episode that's coming up. Trish is going to have a conversation with Martel in the gym. and he's gonna try to throw some shade, and I'm hoping she put him in his place. What else is gonna happen? I believe Melody's gonna have a sit down with Marcel. You know that is going to be entertaining because the two of them have that mouth that's gonna go back and forth. So that's gonna be entertaining to watch, and I forgot what else we're going to see. But yes, I'll be watching the next episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville. So that is my recap and my review of Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 8, Episode 6, titled No More Nice Trish. And I'm sorry for the late review, guys, but I don't know if I told you at the top of the video that I was fighting a cold this whole week. There was no way that I could come on with that voice that I had. It's still a little bit there, but it's getting better. And also, I don't know if you guys do watch Bravo shows as well. I'm starting to watch. I binge watched the entire season of The Real Housewives of Dubai. And I believe we started season 2 of The Real Housewives of Dubai. And I watched season 1. I'm about to watch season 2 and do the reviews for those two. So if you watch those shows, it's really entertaining. Those girls in Dubai, they're entertaining. Make sure that if you do watch it, check them out. I'm going to be reviewing that show and some others that are coming up. There's some stuff going on with The Real Housewives of Atlanta. So I think they're still trying to figure out season 16, as they call it, Sweet 16. There's some new ladies, and they've come on social media and say they don't think they want to continue because it's just too much and they don't like the drama and stuff like that. So they may have to do some revamping and stuff like that. But yeah, if you do watch The Real Housewives of Dubai, make sure you tune back in to hear my my review of the first 2 episodes, or maybe by the time I film this it will be the 3 episodes, but I'll be talking about it. Also, make sure that you check out the links in the description. Click on all of them. Check out my 2 Etsy shops, check out my blog and stuff like that. But I thank you for watching this video. Thank you for making it all the way to the end. If you have not subscribed yet, please go ahead and subscribe. I do appreciate it. And make sure that you come back and you turn on the notifications as well, because you don't want to miss an upcoming upload. Until next time, guys, stay safe. Make sure that you take care of yourselves and your families. Bye-bye.